Alright people, I'm Catfish Dave, and I'm just going to do a real short video here. And I'm needing some bluegills. I'm out of bluegills. And I've come across something that keeps me from having to worry about buying worms, buying crickets. You buy them worms, they get hot on you, they die. They get wet on you, they die, they escape. Crickets, the same thing. I've been bank fishing before and had to listen to crickets in my truck where they got loose for like a month straight, you know. Just a big hassle. And I don't know if you've checked the prices on worms lately, but last time I bought some, I said I'll not do that again. Either way, man, what we have here is, you've heard of those trout magnets. Well, that's one of those jig heads for a trout magnet. It's a 1/64 ounce jig head. This stuff here you can order off Amazon. I'll give you a link in the description of this video. You can buy that jar there cheaper than you can buy a thing of worms anymore. And it stays good as long as you keep the lid on it. You keep it in your truck, keep it in your boat. I keep it in my boat. Looks about like that right there. It's very hot out, so, and what I'm doing here is we've got a mayfly hatch. So typically these bluegill will be way up in shallow water around rocks and stuff. But with these mayflies everywhere, they're all along the channel, all along these tree lines. Put him in the live well. Catfish bait. Some people like to eat these things. Whatever you like to do with them, you can get them on the Berkeley Gulp Minnow. A flathead will eat that. A blue cat will too. Standard way to fish it is throw it out there, let it sink, and then slowly reel. You want to keep it moving. It is an artificial. Although I have had them pick it straight up off the bottom when it was just laying. He's too small. You will go through a few of these things, but there's quite a few in a jar, and I've been catfishing about 6 times on this same jar, and I've still got plenty left. Sometimes you can catch 3 or 4 on the same one. You don't catch just bluegills on these things. I've caught bass on them. I've caught small channel cats on them, yellow perch on them, yellow bass. Just about anything that will eat something small or eat a minnow. We'll eat these Berkeley Gulp minnows. Crappie will eat them. Straighten that one back up. You need very light line to cast these things, a very ultralight rod. I'm using 6-pound test because I don't see well to tie. But if you want the best casting ability, you need to be using 4-pound. Some guys go all the way down to 2 pounds. For bluegills, you're usually fishing close to what you're after and you're not casting far. So the 6-pound works for me. Oh! Better straighten that up. Yeah, you can feel them nailing it as soon as it hits the water. See if we can get one more on that one. We're making some easy work of some bluegills. I've used these things at boat ramps, other lakes, docks. Anywhere there's a bluegill that I threw these things, I've caught my bluegill for bait. So we caught 3 on that one, then he bit the tail off. I recommend that you keep your hands washed off. This stuff kind of, if you got like cuts and stuff in your hands, it'll burn your hands. And the other thing to not do is let one of these dry up on a hook. You'll have to cut it off there. It gets real hard. Just make sure you take it off when you're done fishing. Look at there. They eat it. No more worms. No more crickets running around in your truck or in your house or in your garage. No more having to make separate stop to the bait store all the time to get a pack of worms. Buy you 4 or 5 jars of that. You can catch bluegills for a long time on that. Won't be long and I'll be catfishing. When you use up 1 jar of these things, keep it to keep your jig heads in, and then you'll have your jig heads and the other jar for your gulp minnows. And Just fits in a tiny place. You can take it anywhere, take it on the road with you if you're driving down the highway, if you're on vacation. You know, you want to do a little bank fishing or boat fishing. You know, you don't have time to stop by a bait store to get worms, crickets, whatever. These things are the ticket right here. Now there's a lot of bluegills here because of these mayflies, but the first places that I used these things, there were no mayflies. I was around boat docks, some boat ramps where there were no trees around, and I was just loading bluegill up, so they're hitting it just as fast as I put it out there. Sometimes they'll pull them loose on you, like that one did. And the key is very light tackle, light rod. Check your line and your ounce rating on your rod. This one here is rated for the size lure I'm throwing. It's very light rod. You could use it for mountain trout fishing in creeks or whatever. We don't want him. There's a nice one. That's the kind we're looking for there. Yes, sir. This is easy, people. No more worms, no more crickets. Keep it in your boat. If you run out of bluegills, just head back to the shoreline. Break out your jar of goat minnows. Catch them all over again. Oh yeah. And he got my goat minnow. That one there hit it on the fall, didn't even reel. Nice looking bluegill. Didn't even reel. That slab there. Yeah. Now that I've got some of these bigger ones, I'm gonna dig some of them smaller ones out. I'll put them back in. I'd much rather have these large ones. Yeah, boy. There it is, y'all. I'll leave a link to the jig heads and that jar of Berkeley Gold minnows in the description. No more hassle with crickets and worms. Order your Berkeley gulp minnows and trout magnet jig heads today. Easy peasy.